Hello, this is the second read of Night 1. I'm just here by myself because I have a busy day today, so I wanted to get this done while I had some time. So it's Night 1 after Sandroba got lynched. This is the last post I made where I explained stuff about the voting. Hello, and this is the second read of Night 1. I'm just here by myself because I have a busy... Probably mute that so there's no echo. Sorry if there was. And Toad Stern plays Totally Flare. If you don't know anything about Toad, usually he's an active thread poster and he does lots of crazy things. Don't know if that will happen in this game, but just to be aware, he is quite a character. So I have 6 pages to read. I'm just going to quickly go through them and see if anybody pinged me. I expect lots of people will be asking me questions, considering I was going to get lynched yesterday, but didn't at the last minute. That's gum. So I'm just starting from this page in case I missed anything while I was making my last post yesterday. Hopefully this stream isn't lagging. Don't think it should be. I like this guy is here and he's always posting. He's like always around. Really speaks volumes for someone if they're always in the thread posting. Even if maybe he's not the most confirmed person right now. It feels really strange. I don't like the vibe from this post. It feels really forced. I want to see if this is... This may be his first post since the lynch happened. I'm just trying to find... Pretty sure his last post was when he voted for me and then he had to leave. This is... It's only 3 hours after as well. Little after the deadline, an hour after the deadline, I think. So I wanted to look at this guy. I mentioned this yesterday, that his vote on me may have been a little questionable, because I could have sworn that he was saying that he thought I might have been in town, or that I wasn't a good lynched. It was definitely something I'll check for in a little bit. But like, this kind of wording... Like, this is the second time at least that he's said he's glad he didn't roll scum. And that's bad because he's emphasizing that fact. Definitely something the Mafia would do. We'll take a little closer look at him later. This is what I said, so I'm just going to quickly go through the threads, see if there's anything I need to respond to. Yeah, he might be onto something here. So VE had his vote on me from early in the day, and he was like questionable on me. He even said so a few times, if I remember correctly, that he thought maybe I wasn't a good lynch or that I was town. But he kept his vote on me and never moved it. He also wasn't around for the lynch time. Characteristically, that's usually strange with VE. He's usually pretty active, and he conveniently showed up about 15 minutes after the deadline to post. I mean, that could just, you know, real life happens. I don't want to look into that too much yet. If that kind of thing continues on through the game, where he's just conveniently absent at interesting time, then it's definitely something to take into account. But like real life does happen. Don't read too much into it, especially on day 1, even day 2. Later in the game, though, something to take note of. That's why lots of reasons I'm checking timestamps of things. That's more for a long-term thing, like keeping in mind who's around, who's posting, and at what times. Yeah, this guy's like the second or third time he's said something that I've been thinking. Good job, Gonzo. I'm pretty sure I did look through VE's filter briefly yesterday. Kind of came to the same conclusions here. That doesn't make sense, though. I may want to respond to this, because he does bring up some good points. Let's wait for Shadow's filter. So nighttime is usually a good time to bring up good stuff to the thread, because there's no, how do you say, pressure? During nighttime, people are just sitting around waiting for the night kills, right? So good discussion like this can happen. I mean, this isn't that good discussion, but this is good discussion. And like the stuff I brought up as well. So you should always take time during the night to like post something important. People are more likely to read long posts as well during the night, because they're not thinking about lynching, they're just kind of reading what people are saying. We knew that a long time ago. Seems like he's throwing doubt, but he did vote for me, so I probably shouldn't say that. One's come to be on the Sand Rover, right? That's questionable. I said the opposite thing. Don't think so. I think some night kills. I don't even know if I believe that. It could be. There could be one straggler on the Sand Rover wagon. Even still, it just doesn't feel right. I mean, weird shit does happen all the time. This is Mafia. Stranger things have happened. Even then, these aren't bus votes. Because I know I'm town. They don't know I'm town. So it's a little different from their point of view. So keep that in mind. Since I know I'm town, like, Marvin, Hoppa, and Chrome are essentially hammered to get Sand Rover lynched, because I know I'm town. I think for the town here, that's the thing they have to be worried about most, is whether or not I'm Mafia here. Because it could be the case that I'm Mafia and Sand Rover is also Mafia, and that we were trying to push the Promethilax lynch instead of that last minute switch onto Sand Rover. I want to respond to this. Oh, that's mean. That's probably true. From their point of view, I mean. Yeah, I'm worried about this one as well. You remember last day I was voting for him to get, or I was pushing for his lynch as well, as the alternative to Promethylax. It would, and it would definitely make a lot of sense. Like, if he's Scum, then like VE or Wave Shadow, or maybe Kidman, maybe is the last Scum. That would make sense for a Scum team, based on what happened day one. Hold on, might be important. Not important. Yeah, things are usually quiet during the nighttime. Yeah, he's... this... Yep. It's good that everyone's on the page. Wow. So I tried to get this to Kai Lynch, but he was... Remember, he wasn't the hammer vote, but he did like push it over to he ensured the lynch would happen on Sandroper. I also was thinking about him a little bit the other day, so I really didn't like his first post here, because he's just saying a lot of generic things. You know, generic statements like this don't help, arguing that we should policy lynch lurkers, yeah, some things we all know. But after I was thinking about it, I was thinking, okay, if he's Town, what's Town about this post? I think one thing is that he's really drawing a lot of attention to himself, especially in these last 3 lines. And I think he does it later, like he asks someone why they haven't made a case on him. I can't find it. I'm pretty sure he did. He was just like, why haven't you called me out yet? There's something like that there. So I think it's not totally... I probably overlooked that in itself because I was so focused on this. But if he's Town, I think this is one of the things that gives it away. It's the fact that he's just drawing so much attention to himself. And if he was Mafia, he wouldn't need to do that at all. You know, he could essentially just cut his post here. And, well, it's a bad post there, but he could still get away with it, I'm sure. So, just a brief thing to keep in mind. If you think someone's Mafia, and then you have to reevaluate, go look at what you missed. That way you won't miss it ever again. I don't really think that means anything. Like, early votes in the day. Don't think you have more third presence than I do. But that's okay. He is making a lot of sense here. I don't agree with some things he's saying, but he makes sense. Where are you, Toady Toad? He's reading the thread. I'll always give people lots of time to read the thread. Especially to read a whole thread well, it takes in just 1 or 2 sittings. It takes a lot of mental effort. So it looks like people are going on the BE, and that's fine. Yeah, Kidda might be turning into a mystery person. I really want to bring up, like, these are good points about VE, but some things about we have Shadow not being said. Hopefully I could bring those up to the thread. It'd be a good way to post during the night. And this is the other thing about nighttime, is it's taking longer to read because it's nighttime, so people are posting more juicy things. As opposed to during the day when people are like flailing around, like, oh my god, who are we gonna lynch? I don't know. But during nighttime, it's just like, alright, let's figure things out. There's no pressure to do anything. Essentially. I really think you should just add all 5 to that ledge. That's what feels better. If it turns out that one of them is Mafia, I think they will reveal themselves over time. It doesn't look that way just from what the thread posts are going like. He's kind of making a lot of sense. And Marvelocity is... I still find him a bit suspicious, but like at the same time, he is kind of making sense. And I'm probably just biasing myself here from yesterday. And I haven't really looked closely at him, haven't checked his filter very much, or looked at his past behavior, so difficult to make a call there. What post did I quote here? These were so long ago. It's probably not relevant to the thread anymore, that's why I'm not going to respond to them. I can respond to something that's closer to current time. It's the not caring. This is kind of being a little dick there. I feel kind of bad for VE. Yeah. Totally understand that. I've been on that side of the gondola bus too, and not just in this game either. I know how he feels. Not really sure what to make of this guy. The arguments against him are good. I don't know. I still had that feeling from yesterday. He was never pushing an agenda. So, that's why I thought he was town. So let's find his vote on me. We're going to work backwards from there. There it is. So I want to point out what he's... Who was it the other day? Gnome was saying that this is a bad thing to say. I forgot who said it. I don't have to see that. Don't want to read too much into that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to just bring some information about Wave of Shadow to the thread. Since most people are talking about VE, so this would be a good time to jump in with something about Wave of Shadow. Some people kind of have him on the scum list, but other people are maybe a little more iffy about him, so if I could put the pressure on, it would be good. I'm going to start from that one Gonza post where he threw out the 3 towns. I usually do like to start a post with a reference point, so I'll quote somebody. So I don't see any. Oh. Here. Doesn't seem like it. Vemos. So I can finish that on my own. So I think just for now I'm going to look at wave of Shadow. Try to see if I can find anything suspicious about his voting. Then I'll finish that post and probably be done for now. Day does end in 3.5 hours, it looks like. So he did drop his vote me. At the time I did mention this, that it felt a little odd that he was voting me. He doesn't want a policy wholly, that's fine. Could be important. Ooh. I let that out because usually people who say things like that are mafia-ish. Town usually don't say stuff like that. Like have this awe and reverence for someone, just like help us out because I'm dumb. Towns usually don't say stuff like that. Again, I could be biasing myself, but things to keep in mind. This is before I came back, I think. Okay. So all I'm doing is just quoting his posts that are referenced to me. Wants to lynch me less. Admits to having to sheep someone. Says that he's kind of okay with me, but not okay with me. He says he's going to re-look over the case. Then finally he votes. Are his posts So what is this doing about this? Is his so you do this. Vote. Landslide. I believe there's already 2 votes on me at the time. Sarah Gonzo Shadow. Yes. answers are fitting, which they are. I don't want to say that because that's only from my perspective. So I want to make this more general. So if my answers are fitting and enough, just because you don't agree with me, I don't even know if I want to say that because that's kind of like calling him a newbie indirectly. Okay. Okay, so that's good. Could get some comments about that. So, for the rest of today, I'm just going to finish this part up. This is just regard to the votes and why the 5 people voting are likely town, in reference to my earlier post. And I'm going to post it, and that's probably going to be it for the day. Night does end in 3 hours 15 minutes. I will probably, hopefully, be able to post later tonight. But we shall see. Right.